Alright, this little guy here is a dog-faced puffer, which I already have, one named Melon, that I've had for 6 months, 7 months, and he's getting pretty big. This guy is smaller than the end of my little finger. Not afraid of anything. Knows where the food comes from. He came into my local fish store, the Great Barrier Reef store, a few days ago, and I wanted him then, and the owner said he was going to take him home. So I thought, just as well. So I was back yesterday, and he was still there. And he said, well, he was going to take him, and I said, well, I really want him if you're not. So it was another fish also that I wanted, and he was going to take that, but then somebody else got it. So anyway, I ended up with this fish and brought him home. He's been quarantined in copper there, and since I'm still running copper in my main tank, it was fine to go ahead and put him in there and quarantine with the other fish. However, the instant I put him in, the no good blue cleaner wrasse right there that Melon, the dog-faced puffer in here, plans to murder, immediately started attacking this little guy and jerking him and pulling him in the water. And then Melon came over, and I don't know if he was going after this guy or the wrasse, so I immediately pulled him back out. And since I needed him in quarantine and I couldn't put him in the invert tank over there now, the nice corals, the snails, the nano tank, I dropped him in here, which is the soft corals, which are just on leave while copper's in that tank. You can't run inverts with copper. So he's in here by himself, except for a few red leg little crabs, and there we go, that focused a little better, and some snails and so forth. And he's a big puffer. I mean, he's about the size of, he's bigger than a pea puffer, but not a whole lot. But he's like the size you usually see Amazons come in, the little Amazon puffers. Yeah, so he's a tiny, tiny guy. And let me feed him right quick. Alright, so thawing out some food, and also adjusted those lights so they stopped doing that pulsing effect. He knows what his food is. They told me at the store he did. So he's staring at those jumbo bloodworms that may be a little ambitious for him, but let me see if I can grab a couple and see what he does with one. There we go. He's right there. He hasn't moved, has he? These are not, as I said, regular bloodworms, the little thin pieces of things that have no meat on them. These are jumbo bloodworms, which are maybe 4 times, 6 times, I don't know, thicker. So he's eaten 2 of those, no problem at all. See how thick they are? If you've not tried them, give them a try. It's a whole new world. Give him a couple more of these. Just sees me coming. He's a little thin for my taste. I like my fish to be nice and fat. Nice and plump. Got some red algae on there. Yeah, fucking fun. There he is. I think he's got one more. And then I've also, this is for everybody, also got some mysis and spirulina in here. Here we go. Let's see if we can get him to take some of this spirulina. He has been taking it, so it shouldn't be any problem as long as it'll go down there to him. And I'm teaching him when I tap, like I like to all my fish on the edge to come up. I've done that my whole life, and most fish learn it and like it and get excited by it. Seems like he's pretty full, but some of that's floating back around to him now. So we'll see what happens. There's a little mysis. There's another piece by. There's a little hang-on back filter back there. And this tank had a water change today, as did the other two marine tanks. Oh, that's what he was standing over guarding. I didn't see that. It was under the edge there. And like I said, there are red leg crabs and snails, and trying to think another kind of crab in here, but it won't come to me now. Holly Lightfoot. Yeah. So they will eat anything he doesn't. But I'm going to be real careful and not overfeed him. So yeah, it's called a striped. It's a lovely shot, huh? Sorry about that. I'll try that again. Not sure what happened there. I'm just trying to get him a little closer. It's really nice too to have a fish that's obviously been tank raised. I'm guessing he's 6 weeks old, if that, no more than that. Hasn't bothered the coral at all. Oh, he's finding some of the pieces of spirulina and whatever in there. There's a red leg crab you can see just down in the lower left hand corner, which is about the same size as him. And I was careful not to vacuum this too well, just a bare bottom substrate. As I said, it's just a holding tank for these corals. Unfortunately, these taste nasty, they're bitter, they're toxic, mildly toxic to the fish. So there's considered some of the least attractive and collectible corals, but oddly, they're my favorites. They grow great for me. They're very inexpensive. Those guys were getting ready to go out for the night, so they're kind of wilted down. That new piece back there is doing great. It's finally opened up. So, uh-oh, I lost him. Oh, there he goes. But he's a little tough guy. I wanted to name him the Elvish word for brother, since he's going to be tank mates with, hopefully with Melon, and that's an Elvish word which means friend. And the Elvish word is Hanno, H-A-N-N-O, kind of like hello, but Hanno for brother. So that may end up being his name, Hanno. We'll see. We shall see. Alright guys, we're over 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes into this, rambling on, and just wanted to introduce this guy. Wow, he found another jumbo bloodworm. I bet the little red leg crab there would love to have that. He may be getting full. Of course, his little fins that are like little hummingbird fins on his back and his abdomen and his sides. I think he's actually getting full, and he needs to get some weight on him. Just too skinny. He needs to start growing, and he'll be the same size as the dog face. He won't get real big. I think 6 inches is the max on those guys, 5 or 6. Just got him a piece of spirulina there now. I mean mysis. Yep. He's a puffer through and through. If you have an idea for a good name for him, let me know. I see the dogs have names. Thanks, guys.